Hey folks, I'm just playing with some different startup options and so forth. Uh, of course, normally I do this when I'm not streaming, but sometimes it's fun to just kind of screw around with it, see what you think. And already I see that I'm misspelling welcome. Welcome. So we'll get started here real quick. Fiddling away with, I just have a cheap little webcam. Well, cheap, little webcam over there that I kind of thought I'd set up for some different views and so on. So I'm playing with the color correction, as you can see. Kind of fun to see what we can do with all this tech and so forth. Gonna get started here real soon, so hang on in there. almost there. Hope everybody's been having a good week so far. And I'm going to assume that my audio is coming through all right, since I haven't had anybody say that I sound like some sort of, broken robot or anything. We'll go ahead and get started in a minute here. Yeah, I use OBS when I do all these live streams and so forth. Most people use OBS. It's free and pretty darn versatile. There's a lot of functionality to it. Oh, my voice is echoing. Oh dear. Okay, that's a problem. That is a problem. I thought we were okay, darn it. Let me switch over to another mic and see if that helps us. How is this mic? Tell me whether or not you're getting the same sort of annoying echo with this mic, Brian. And it's not echoing on for mine. Okay, let me go back to the original mic and see if we're getting a weird echo. Okay, this is the original mic I was using that Brian said, the first one works better for you guys. All right, Brian, maybe it's a little something on your side. I don't know, but okay. All right, it looks like it works for the most part. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. It's better now. Oh, good. Thank you. Hey, everyone, welcome. We're going to, today's a little different. Okay, you notice I changed some lecture things. Today's a little different. If you are attending outside of my class, if you're not a member of my class, you're not going to find very much interesting in today's lecture. It's really not a topic lecture. What I'm really going to do today is explain the final assignment and get teams all kicked off and so forth. And I'm going to do it in kind of a different way. All right, I'll show you what I mean when the time comes. The first thing I want to do is make sure that everybody knows how to see what team they're in. Now, mind you, over the last couple of days, I've had to make some changes to the teams because some people drop and some people add, and there's just been some this and that's and the others and so forth. So you'll want to see what your revised team is. Now, I'm going to come over here and share. Okay, I'll come on down here. Now, a couple of things. If you come over here to people, you're going to see, of course, everyone who's in the class, right? And then you can also hit project teams, and you will see all the project teams. However, you will see a little lock symbol by the vast majority of the teams. So, for example, if I can't do it in student view from here. You're going to see a little lock symbol. There is one team, though, that you will not see a lock symbol next to, and it'll probably be either broadcast A, B, or C, right? And then you can go ahead and open it up and see who you're with. However, there's also a way, and I believe it's in this left-hand menu here. Somebody do me a favor and confirm this for me. I believe that for you as a student, here in the left-hand menu, you will see something that says groups. You will see a menu option for groups. Click on that, and that should take you to your group right away. So do me a favor, somebody go ahead and try that and see if that works. Parker, you see it. Okay, so for example, Parker, you're in a group with Jack and Claire, and I'm going to be a member of that group as well. Different thing. I'm going to hook up with you later, Parker. So you see what I'm talking about. So what you'll want to do is you will want to connect with your team and just talk. The first team assignment, which I've actually moved out to next week, is about as simple as they come, folks. I'll show you. I'll show you just by coming to the syllabus, and we'll see where the first team assignment is. Right here, Team Kickoff. All right, what do you do for Team Kickoff? You just get together, and it can be virtually. You can do it through Zoom, and you just get to know each other. Trade phone numbers or text or text numbers if you use Remind instead of the phone, your own personal phone number. Trade email addresses. Kind of just do a little team building activity. All you really want to do is get to know one another. That's the only, I bumped my mic. That's the only thing that you need to worry about in this assignment. So when you actually submit your Team Kickoff assignment, you're going to give me a list of everybody who's in attendance, and you're also going to tell me when you met. Now, recording or picture. If you want to record your Zoom meeting, you can, but frankly, all I really want is a screen capture, right? I'm not going to watch your whole recording. I just want to see that you met and who was there. So just when you do a Zoom meeting, or if you meet in person, just snap a selfie or snap a screen capture and you'll be in fantastic shape. Now remember, especially for all of you in our remote team and so forth, we have Zoom here available to all of us. So you can go ahead and by clicking on Zoom, you can set up a Zoom meeting for your team. Very, very simple, very straightforward. Okay? So that's really what you're looking at for your first assignment, your first team assignment. You're just going to get together either physically or over Zoom or something like that. You're going to just get to know each other. You're going to trade information. You're going to take a selfie or take a screen capture, submit all that, and you're good to go. Now, a couple of things about teams, okay? In the vast majority of classes that you've taken, including me, I'm in the film program, and I get put in a team all the time. They just kind of toss you to a team and say, good luck, right? This whole class is about internal communication, which means it's all about internal collaboration, collaborating within an organization to meet a business objective, which means this class is really about teams. So we are going to spend a fair amount of time talking about, learning about, and forming teams. Now, I really want to impress something upon you. The ability to form, lead, and contribute in performing teams will be absolutely invaluable to you in the workplace. I don't care what workplace you're in. In fact, it'll be invaluable to you in life, in partnerships and business, or in partnerships and relationships and marriages and so forth, family. The ability to put together and work in a team is absolutely invaluable. So we take it pretty darn seriously in this class, and we spend a good few weeks really learning how to do it and bringing it all together. Okay? So that's going to be your first team assignment. You should now know how to see who's in your team. You know what you need to do, and you know how to get together either in person or virtually. Okay. One more thing. For those of you in this remote broadcast class, a lot of the time that we meet as a team will actually be in this class. That's one of the nice things about having a class at a specific time. You know, if you're in a lecture class, you meet at a specific time. If you're in a broadcast class, you meet at a specific time. Online teams really have to work a little harder because they have to figure out when to meet and align schedules and so forth. But I want to show you, and let's come on over here. Remember, when we come here to our live stream schedule and so forth, you're going to see toward the end, last third of the semester, the vast majority of the time is going to be team time. I will be here to help out and so on and so forth. But just so you know, it's really kind of nice. We'll be spending class time doing our team assignments. Frankly, I think that's really good. I know online is nice because it's very flexible, which is marvelous, but I also like having a schedule kind of built in. Okay? So with that, what I want to do is I want to take a moment and I want to, here, I'm looking for a button. Since it's a little different today, it's a little different. Give me a couple of questions. Take a moment, throw in a question, even though we're not doing our little game, where is it? Normally right here, gamification stuff. I'm still going to take care of you. I always take care of you. Give me a question or two about the teams, about the first assignment, about Zoom, about anything along those lines. So I'm going to come on over here to my new webcam without sound. I'll do it for a minute. Throw in a question or two. Let's make sure that you feel like you know what you're doing. Okay, we've got a couple of questions, so that's good. So the first one is Aaron says, I'm not seeing the names of the team members when I click on the group. So I'm not quite sure why that is. So Aaron, you are in Team Proactive. And so your team members are yourself, and then you've got Riley and Lorena. You're going to be in really good shape. Actually, you guys are really good. This is all going to be good teams, right? So those are the folks in your team. I'm not quite sure why those names aren't coming up. Maybe if you send me a screen capture, we can take a look at it. Is there a way to see it through mobile? And I'll come back to the previous question in a moment. I'm not entirely positive. The mobile app is much better than it used to be, but it still doesn't have all the complete functionality. So Matt, I'm not quite sure. Let's see, I thought we had one more in a team. Oh, that's why you were asking. No, that's your team right there, Aaron. Matt, when it comes to you, oh no, different group. Let's see here, Matt. Right there, you've got Anastasia and Jacob with you. So that is your team, Matt. I'm not sure if you can see it in mobile. Now, we also have the question saying, hey, I travel a lot. What if I miss a team meeting? Okay, here's the good thing, right? And I'm going to zoom up here just a little bit because I really want to emphasize this. We're going to talk more about this later, but I want to emphasize it right now since the question is asked, hey, I travel a lot. What if I miss a meeting? Team contribution is measured by contribution. If you can't make a meeting, that's fine. So long as you know what your action items are, you know what you need to do, you know when you need to have them done, and so forth. Not everybody can attend necessarily every single meeting, but everybody needs to contribute. That's one of the things that new teams need to learn when it comes to virtual teams. Okay, virtual team meaning you're not necessarily all in the same room together every single time. Very new groups, and this isn't just college students, this is out in the real world and so forth. New teams seem to get it into their head that everybody needs to be exactly on time to every meeting, or present at every meeting, contribute exactly the same number of hours, work on every single task to the same degree, and so forth. So if I'm going to write a section, you're going to write a section, which means you're going to write a section. If I'm going to design a pamphlet, you're going to design a pamphlet, and you're going to design. No. Everybody does what their strength is and what their schedules can accommodate, and so forth. So teams need to communicate. It's all about communication. That's what this class is about. Communicating so that people know when you're available, what you can work on, when you need to have it done, and things like that. So don't worry, you're going to be just fine, okay? I'm so sorry. I'm slaughtering your name. You're going to be just fine. I promise. Okay. Let's see. People tab on the left column. Yes. Very good, Aaron. You're in good shape. Okay. So now we're going to shift gears and we're going to talk about the final assignment. Now, here's the thing about communication. Communication is about communicating the right information to the right people through the right channel at the right time. I am about to talk a lot about the final assignment weeks and weeks before we really start it, which means there's more than a fair chance you're going to forget a lot about what we talk about. And that is okay. That's okay. The whole point of communication, as you guys know because of the previous videos, is frequency and reach. We want to make sure we communicate the information frequently and throughout the semester so that it really digs in. Furthermore, we're recording this and you're always going to be able to refer back to it. Okay, so with that, you are doing a strategic communications campaign. If I come back over here, just real quick, you're going to remember this. You're going to come here, remember you came to course orientation, you clicked there, you hit next, and right away I said, hey, here's just a preview of your final strategic communications campaign. And I said, don't skip this, you're going to need it all throughout the semester. And this really tells you about what a campaign is. It uses media, messaging, and organized communication activities to educate, inform, influence an audience for a specific period of time for a specific business purpose. And then I explain there's actually 3 parts to this final campaign, 3 assignments. You've got yourself a plan. You've got yourself the deliverables, and then you're presenting your campaign. I have some samples here, and this is a video that you're going to see several times coming up that actually talks you through how to put together the plan part, this first one. I am about to show you all 3 of these, okay? You guys remember. Let's come back over here. You remember our JUMPSTART extra credit opportunity, right? Just chime in there real quick. Don't worry, I know I'm not tracking on this, but I'm going to take care of you with extra credit. Chime in real quick and tell me who took part in the JUMPSTART Your Semester extra credit. Just said yes, 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 whoever did and so forth. Let's take a look at that as I walk through this. The JUMPSTART Your Semester extra credit assignment was the result of a strategic communications campaign. You participated in a real life campaign that I put together, okay? So that means that I am now about to present to you my strategic communications campaign as though I had done the assignment, okay? And so I have the plan here. I have the plan that I put together. You're going to put together a plan exactly like this. The purpose of this communications campaign is to encourage Business 2200 students to participate in a real-world example. Let's see, where am I? Real-world example of a strategic communications campaign, thereby giving a greater understanding of the expectations for their final project. This is the real thing. This is what we did. And of course, I'm going to provide this, and you can kind of read through the campaign and so forth. I said that, campaign will be conducted during the first month of the semester using a variety of channels best suited to the target audience. We're going to talk about that. I also did, as you will do, an audience analysis. And as you know, I first look at demographics. Remember, demographics are the things we can easily see and measure. And so I can see and measure certain things about my students in aggregate, in general, in average, right? And then I also looked at psychographics, because remember, demographics are fine, but they're really kind of useless. What we really want are psychographics, because, okay, all right, so you're 23 years old. So what? Well, what that means is psychographically, you're very open to using online content, you enjoy videos and blah, 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 right? So I have some information here on the psychographics of my audience, you, the students. For example, you don't mind using Canvas instead of buying a textbook. You notice all the material I provide is on Canvas. Some of it is written, most of it is in video form. The data says that you don't mind that. You're not knocking on my door saying, I would rather buy a textbook, right? Most of you are business majors, which means you're ROI driven. You're not going to do something unless you see a purpose for it, a payoff for it, right? That's why you're in school. You're investing in your future. This is not your first full-time job. Vast majority of you work and you're pulled in different directions. You're busy. You're stressed with all your responsibilities. You like information on demand, okay? Just-in-time information. Yeah, definitely ROI driven, right, Aaron? Right? You see? You like the idea that you can get the information when you need it, right? As a matter of fact, you might refer to this video later on when you're actually doing the campaign, because you're like, hold on, what goes into a plan again? Then you're going to come back to this. And it goes on and on and on. I have information. I also have context. Now remember, context is the tricky one. It's kind of like, okay, because of when you're delivering this campaign, what does that mean? Well, for example, because this campaign will be used as a teaching tool, it will be conducted the first month of the semester. All right, it's a teaching tool. I want to use it to do exactly what we're doing right now, so I'm going to do it early in the semester. However, students may be less interested in extra credit at the beginning of the semester than they may be perhaps at the end of the semester, which means that, yes, many of you did do this campaign, but perhaps not as many as if we had done it at the end of the semester. But since it's a teaching tool primarily, I do it at the beginning. Nevertheless, that's an example of temporal context. I will have less participation because of when it is being given in the semester. Physical context, right? Let's see. When it comes to actual points, students really like to try to get the maximum points. Social context, early in the semester, many students may feel driven to get in good with the professor, right? So beginning of the semester, you want to make a good impression. I want to make a good impression as the professor. So don't diss this, right? So you might be thinking, you know what, I really don't do extra credit. I don't need it. I'm running an A. Everything's fine. But you know what? The professor would probably like it if I did a little bit, and I just want to show that I'm an engaged student. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. That would be an example of social context. Finally, cultural context says you guys like extra credit. It's just part of the culture of school, of college, is extra credit is kind of expected, right? Okay, I then go through and do my audience analysis findings. You can read through that. I then give my messaging goals. You're going to learn more about this later on in the semester, especially with that video that I showed you a moment ago. The idea with messaging goals is, well, I want you to complete the extra credit assignment. That's a do. But nobody ever does anything unless they feel it is the right thing to do. Feeling, emotion always precipitates action. Precedes action. I apologize. Precedes action. Okay? So I need to think about, what do I want you to feel, right? And in order to feel, you need to know what I want you to do, what I'm hoping you'll do. You need to know how the point system works, how you can earn the extra credit, how to submit it, when the due date is. These are things you need to know, feel, and do. I then have the channels, and I developed all these channels, so I'm going to show them to you, the assignment itself, and in-class discussion, which we've done, video invitation. I'm going to show you all these. And then I have a branding guide. Branding guide saying everything's going to look like this, and I'm going to use these fonts, and I'm going to use this color, and so forth. And then I have my conclusion and all of my references, because I need to show that I know what I'm talking about. Okay? Now, that is the plan part. But now let me show you the channels, the deliverables. Remember, this is a three-part assignment: the plan, the deliverables, which are the channels, and then the presentation, which I'm doing right now. You'll remember all these. You saw this video, right? Hopefully you watched that video that was an invitation. And I'm kind of proud of the video because I developed all the graphics and the sound.
Hey everyone,
and so on and so
I
forth.
wanted to...
I thought that was cool. So it was an invitation to you. You saw this, see announcements for an extra credit opportunity. So there are two channels. I then have the announcement itself, which once again follows the branding guide. And then I have the assignment itself. This is the fourth channel that gives you all the information you need. And then I had the tally sheet. This is a fifth channel that I used to communicate it. And you notice the branding is the same all throughout. So every single time you saw this, you knew exactly what it was talking about. That's the power of a branding guide, okay? Now, I want to show you something. About 4 or 5 of you said that you did this assignment, okay? 4 or 5 of you, and currently my stats say that I have 13 folks with us, okay? So that means about a third of you did the extra credit assignment. Okay, but now check this out. In a control group, I did not run the campaign. All these channels and promoting and pushing and so on and so forth. All I did was, here in syllabus, I listed it under extra credit. And in this control group, nobody has ever done the assignment. If I promote it through a strategic communications campaign, I get about 1/3 to 50% participation. If I do not promote it through a campaign, I get 0 participation. That really shows you the strength of a well done, or at least a well thought out strategic communications campaign. So coming back up here, what have I just done now? Oh, hold on, let's come on over here. I have shown you the plan that I put together following the information that's in this video. I showed you the deliverables, you know, the video and the assignment and the announcement and all the branding. And I just presented my campaign to you, presenting the campaign. I have just fulfilled the final assignment. That's what it is. Now, that was meta, all right? Doing a campaign to get you to do a campaign. But now let's get even more meta. Let's go double level meta. Some of you really went nuts with this. I mean, a few of you did a few people, got a few people involved and so on and so forth, but some of you filled out the whole freaking sheet. Not many people do that. But now I want you to think about how you got people to participate. Maybe you texted them. Maybe you put something on Facebook. Maybe you sent them an email. Maybe you just took their phones and said, here, do this, right? I've had some people who actually went through Nutshell Brainery, found a few videos that they thought their friends would like, and sent those videos to their friends saying, hey, I want you to comment on these videos. Subscribe and comment on these videos. In other words, to get people to participate, and I really want you to think about this, you conducted a strategic communications plan. You had to think about, okay, what do I want my audience to do? I want them to help me with this project. How am I going to ask them to do it? I'm going to do it face-to-face. I'm going to do it over text. I'm going to do it over email. I'm going to do it over Facebook. I'm going to do it in all these different ways. You did a campaign to help you fulfill a campaign that I put together. The reason I'm going on and on about this is that you guys already know how to do this. My job is to help you understand what you already know so you can do it more deliberately, more methodically, and with bigger objectives in mind. Okay? So, with that, I have a few more things I want to go over, but I want to get some questions. Let's do the same thing. And you guys have been great, right? I'm going to take care of you. Let's get a couple of more questions. I'm going to go back over and mess around with my webcam setup there. And tell me what questions you have about this final campaign. And then we'll go over a couple more things and we'll wrap up. All right? Let's see what you got. Okay, we got a couple things. First of all, Parker said it's hard to find people I know to watch your video. That's actually a really good point. I had somebody tell me one time who did not participate in the extra credit. He said, listen, my friends just aren't into those kind of videos. And that was a tremendous point, because while I like my videos and I'm glad I can provide them and I hope they help you as a student, if you're not a student, why do I care about this stuff? So I actually tried to make some different videos to make it a little bit more interesting to folks that are not in my class. But that's a good point. So how do we track participation in our groups and so forth? Okay, this is a good question. They're team assignments. However, I grade individually. All right. So let's make a few things clear here. Everybody needs to participate. Now, when they participate, how they participate, in what capacity they participate, what they deliver is going to be up to the group and how you allocate jobs and roles and responsibilities. But everybody's expected to participate. First thing, if somebody is not communicating, not participating, not, just kind of has ghosted the group, let me know. Let me know. I can help. You are not throwing them under the bus. I promise you. I don't hose anybody. I can just help encourage them. I can help motivate them. I can help get them engaged. 9 times out of 10, it's just they didn't know, or they were confused, or they had a question they were afraid to ask. Who knows, right? Let me know. But in every time, whenever you do an assignment, you're going to put the names of the people who participated, including this first assignment, the team kickoff. I want to see everybody's names there. If somebody has not participated at all, don't put their name and let me know why, right? And once again, we can always help. It's never too late to get somebody involved, right? So trust me when I say, as we go through the team forming process, this is going to make more sense. But at the very beginning of team forming, where we are right now, it's totally natural for you to worry about things like tracking hours and tracking participation, things like that. Let's see. Having a hard time wrapping my head around coming up with a purpose for the campaign. Okay. Great question. Remember, we have right here all kinds of examples of what other teams have done. Okay. So if you come here and read through it, you can see what other teams have done: promoted rewards and recognition program, developed a recruiting campaign, promoted a company holiday party. One of my favorites is developed a corporate training on how to survive and thrive, thrive in the Black Friday time as a retailer. The sky's the limit, right? Now, once you start brainstorming with your team and so forth, and you start looking through this and read the instructions around, hey, doing it as a business research, for a current employer, or as a consultant, or as an instructor, you'll get ideas. You can also come to me. There's plenty, like a lot of these things here, like how to help slick students prepare for an interview, shoot a video, do well in an online class, conduct a successful communications campaign. These are all things that I ask students to do. And I even have some teams that I'm working with this semester to have them do some other projects that I would like to have done. So you'll find lots of opportunities there, Aaron. Let's see here, Riley. Are we presenting in person, right? I feel like seeing campaigns straight in front of your face and grab attention and follow them. Yeah, so there's many ways that you can present your campaign. You can do it live over Zoom like we're doing right now. You can do it over Zoom, but record your Zoom presentation and send it in. If you would like to actually, if you and your team would like to present in person in a room, we can totally make that happen. The name of the game for me is flexibility. So we can make whatever you want to do work, right? Let's see. How can we make a Zoom meet for an hour, right? So yeah, good question. Let's come back over here. You can go ahead and come over to Zoom here in the left-hand menu. And, you know, once you have all the people lined up and so forth, you can set up Zoom meetings in here. Now, Parker, since you're part of the lecture group, you don't have to worry so much about this because you're going to be meeting with the team in the room with everyone else. But maybe what I'll do is a quick little tutorial and post that out here about how to use Zoom. Good question. Okay. All right. So, everyone, that is it. This is a quick primer on what it's all about. We're just easing into team formation right now. It's going to get more serious later on, but step by step, right? We don't have to jump all in at once. So as always, I'm going to stick around a little bit longer if you have any questions. Otherwise, you are totally set. Take care of your work for this week. This is an easy week. You already know that, right? And start reaching out to your team, right? Let's start the conversations. Don't wait until 3 hours before the assignments due. All right? So until we talk again, have a fantastic day, and we'll see you later.